All right. So hey, how's it going? So today I'm bringing some video chalk for you. So this I want to talk about is a concept on defense, really just playing handler defense. It's something that I think that can really take us to that next level. And more specifically, I'm talking about taking away the give and go to the open side. All right, so I've got a clip pulled up here from the heat stroke game, and I'm just going to play it and then kind of break it down. Not sure if there's audio for you, but there we go. I've got a give and go to the open side, and then I'm playing really loose, so I let that around off, and then I can't catch up, and they get an open side score on a give and go. So we'll just back it up a little bit and kind of talk through. So right here, so I'm flat forcing flick. Um, and then so Sarge is on the dump here. Now, unfortunately, I let off this around, which is really bad. But what's even worse is that boom. So this throw goes off to the break side. Sarge has to come across to take away that continuation to the break side, right? And when he does that, that opens up this give and go option because he has to play and get out of position to take away that around. If I play down like this and let this guy come back up, which is essentially what I do here, I think he comes a little bit over to the left. Oh, not resized. But essentially, like I'm giving up this dump throw, and the throw goes here. I try and catch up to set a mark again, and then boom, you get an open slash. So essentially, like the main principle that I wanted to say is that when you let this around off, if a break side goes off and you're on the mark, you have to play over top. So let's get back into position. So if this break throw goes off here, like the first thing I have to do is get in between my guy and the disc, okay? Because this is going to prevent this open side throw, this give and go, and it should allow time for my other defender to set up a mark, right? Because if you just hang back here, you're not really taking away too much. Yeah, you could flash the lane, but essentially I'm really not doing that. I'm just being lazy, to be honest. And so when I'm not playing, really not playing defense on my guy, that gives this option for a give and go. And so the disc would come here. I would kind of play up. Now, if I'm flashing into the lane, of course, I can try and pick up this slash, and then we could effectively do a roll. But because I'm kind of in between, not really doing either, I'm not taking away the slash, and I'm not playing defense on the reset either. And so this give and go option moves up the field. And then you'll see it again. Sarge looks to flash into the lane on this around. So Sarge looks to try and like take away an under here. Unfortunately, I'm playing a little bit too loose. And so boom, give and go option for the score. Now we can see some good open side defense here from Logan. Now this is just on a dead disc, but Logan's locked down in between him and the disc. Disc goes up, Logan can locate it, and we get a turn. Just gonna pause it right there. And then we've got another great example from Jackson on the open side. Now, personally, I would like Jackson to play a little bit more on this inside in between the disc, but I understand his positioning here. He's really taking up more of this give and go option and at least putting pressure on this throw. So that open side give and go is not an option. Logan's also got a good look at trying to take away this slash, and then boom, Jackson gives enough pressure to force a turn there. Um, let's see. Then I've got an example of an inside out skinny for no momentum for this give and go. Okay, so boom, we'll pause it right here. So essentially, the disc is here on the flat side. So I got a flat mark. Actually, I'll back this up a little bit. Disc is here. So I'm essentially trying to play a little bit more over top. So I'm going to try and force this inside throw. And this is something that this is a big preference on my part. I love to force defenders upfield because I feel like this inside skinny is an incredibly high risk throw. It's a much lower percentage, obviously, if I was to just play underneath, right? So essentially, I want to play over top here. And then if I can force this inside skinny, you'll see in a second. So we'll run the clip. And then I play over top. I force an inside skinny, but as you can see, the thrower's momentum is not taking him to the open side. So you'll see on these give and goes, especially to this open side, if I play underneath here, if you give them the opportunity to throw a backhand here and go up line, they have much easier momentum with that throw to for that give and go. But because I force this inside skinny, the give and go option is really not there. We'll run it back again. So I do a much better job here. I'm really not playing as great defense, and I would like to force this and try and contest this inside skinny here, like and play over top and anticipate that that's the throw that they're going to make. It does. They do make a great throw, and then it does put them in power position, but it's much better than giving that open side free reset and then coming across for even more yards. So essentially, I'm just trying to make them do the more difficult option. So open side, reset. I'm trying to play over top, trying to force them upfield, trying to make a difficult throw here. And then that thrower really doesn't have momentum for a give and go. You actually kind of traveled, but I wouldn't call it. Oh, I would call it, but that's all right. Let's see. And then here's another open side. Here's another example of some open side pressure to at least force a turn on the around. So I would actually prefer Quim to play a little bit over top here. So again, this is that open side look. And Quim's kind of playing a little even. I would prefer he play a little bit over top, especially when so as you can see the thrower and the reset are pretty even. I would definitely prefer this because this throw, especially when they're even, is really difficult. Now if you're playing up here, you want to be a little bit more even in line with the disc and the thrower. But if they're upfield, I would definitely shade here. Because if they push this way, you stay over top, force them to throw through the mark to the break side. And then don't let them come back for anything up top or to the middle of the field. So you're really just trying to take away the middle of the field and force a difficult throw there when possible. But this is some good defense. He then goes to motion to play over top and then forces a bad throw, which is great. Again, the main point here is back in that first clip. If I do a better job of playing over the top here and try and force an inside skinny, Sarge would have a lot easier of an opportunity to try and take away that next slash. Because even on the mark, even not trying to take away the big round, just being on the mark, you're already out of position for a give and go. Boom. Yeah, I'm really out of position now. And Mark and sorry, Sarge is coming back to try and contest this. It's kind of caught in between. Do I play upfield? Do I flash the lane or do I stay on my mark or on my defender? So it's tough to do both. And sorry, I'm not trying to call Sarge out here either. Um, just it was a perfect example to pull from for playing some good handler defense. Cool. All right. That'll be it. I really appreciate you guys' time. If you've tuned in this whole time, um, great. Good for you. I'll see you out there on the fields. So this is definitely something to work on out there at pickup, even at goal tee. Whenever you have an opportunity to play defense on the open side, you'll find playing over top and forcing that skinny is going to be a much higher chance of you getting a D than if, of course, if you're just playing underneath.